Thank you very much for being with us on this very special edition of India Now, where we're going to be tracking the big by-elections, the verdict that they have thrown up and what it really means for the principal party, the BJP, as well as the opposition, and are these cues for 2019 at all. I've got three very special guests joining us right here. Mr. N. Ram joins us as an expert and political commentator. I've also got Shaina NC, who's going to be joining us from the BJP in just a bit. Zaritha Litlang from the Congress. And before I go any further, I think I want to quickly read out the tally, as it were. And today, if you read the tally, it's 1/4 as far as the Lok Sabha elections are concerned for the BJP and 1/11 as far as assembly elections are concerned. So let me just take it to N. Ram before I go across to the politicians. And Mr. Ram, you know, it's interesting to see that in by-elections, the BJP seems to be trounced. If you read the tally like I just did, it's 1 out of the 4 Lok Sabha polls that the BJP can claim victory on, and 1 out of the 11 assembly constituencies. What does this tell you today?
Well, normally the ruling party or the party in power does well in by-elections. That's taken for granted. That's the rule. And this is very significant because, for example, in UP, a hat-trick of defeats. If you see elsewhere, even in Maharashtra, the NCP is able to snatch a BJP-held seat. So I think it's really bad news for the BJP. And the obvious answer is, the main factor here is opposition not being split, coming together, reducing the, improving the index of opposition unity. And secondly, I think there has been a swing away from the BJP. It may not be a huge swing yet. And in Karnataka, we saw that when Prime Minister Modi campaigns, he can check that he can counteract that to a little. But I think overall, around the country, these by-elections tell us that the BJP stock has clearly declined. And if you extrapolate from this, I don't want to speculate too much, but if you extrapolate, this does suggest that it's going to be very, very difficult for the BJP, not just to repeat its 2014 performance, but to come anywhere close to winning a majority in the Lok Sabha election whenever it comes. It has to come by mid-year next year, by April, May. It may come earlier. So I think it's a big setback, and the opposition, I think, has tasted blood.
Okay. The opposition clearly has tasted blood, but let's get to the BJP spokesperson and make her answer this question today. Shaina NC, you lose Kairana. Kairana is a seat where you had polled 5,65,909 votes in 2014. You've fallen to 3,52,000 votes. From 50% over votes that were polled in that state, you've lost the prestigious seat of Kairana. Your tally today is 1/4 as far as the Lok Sabha by-polls are concerned and 1/11 as far as assembly polls are concerned. What has gone wrong? Is the BJP too arrogant, and is it underestimating the index of opposition unity?
So, Priyaji, at the outset, let me please say that a by-poll cannot be viewed as a mandate for a general election. We all know that the percentage of people who come out and vote, the issues they choose to vote on, the fact that some of our core voters do not come in a by-poll is something we have seen in the past too. Not that we are going to be complacent or not introspect, because do understand our party president, Amit Shah ji, takes every election extremely seriously. And this is not just about a tokenism. This is about ensuring that our cadre is able to bring out every voter to the polling booth. But that is a phenomena you normally see in a general election. So for starters, I would want to say, when we have won 21 states all across the country, and is that not viewed as a mandate of the public sentiment? And do understand, in a state like Maharashtra, where under the most trying circumstances, we win a historic election of Palghar, people seem to just take that as if for granted. It is not. It is a victory of the cadre of the BJP, the leadership and the clean image of our Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, and more importantly, the opposition unity cannot try to trump or defeat Prime Minister Modi's charismatic, honest personality. So I would only want to say to all the critics, dream on, work on.
Shaina,
And believe me that in a democracy, victory and defeat are part of every electoral process.
Right.
Some of which you get the
Shaina,
right, some of which you don't.
Okay, Shaina NC, I think the arithmetic that is being getting wrong is by the BJP, because let me just point out, in Palghar, where you have won, in 2014, you won that constituency by 2,30,000 votes. That was your winning margin. That has dropped to 20,000 now. So I don't know which index of opposition unity you're still going to undermine, because even in a state like UP, the Prime Minister was in Baghpat. He campaigned in a constituency next to Kairana, and you've still lost that constituency. That is the index of opposition unity that I'm talking about. But let me take this question to Zarta. And Zarta, I really want to ask a very frank question. Why the BJP is perhaps being too arrogant and is underestimating the index of opposition unity? Is the Congress finally coming to terms with the fact that you will be a reasonably, strong player, you will be, you'll be a reliable player if you come with people? You can't do this on your own. You cannot tomorrow decide that you're going to walk it alone, because you will not have it in you. Are these elections also proving that to you? And are you going to be humble enough to accept that?
Hi, Supriya. Thank you very much for the question. At the very outset, I'd like to say that BJP has to actually accept the fact that they have lost. It is the beginning of the end. And, Madam Shaina just said that, I had to actually take down this point. She said that bypolls cannot be viewed as a mandate of the people. And then in the next sentence, she says that Mr. Amit Shah, the party president, takes every election very seriously. So then how can you not take the mandate of the common people seriously? This is number one. Number two, I think, the BJP has to actually introspect into a lot of issues, be it the price rise, be it the anti-farmer policies, be it the misgovernance. And, they have to at one point stop their high drama tactics, And that is when, people are beginning to realize what all this drama is all about. And if you're talking about the Congress, yes, we are very confident on coming on the same boat with like-minded parties, and we are ready to support a united opposition and pave the way all the way to 2019.
So, Chalo, at least you're perhaps being humble enough to say you can't do it on your own, you will need people. I'm going to go across to N. Ram. And Mr. Ram, before I go threadbare into West Bengal and what has happened in Bengaluru and what has happened in Bihar, I just want to finish off UP. In UP, the Prime Minister went for a road show to Baghpat to inaugurate the 9-kilometer of highway. He was in a constituency next to Kairana. The Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath, was in Kairana with his 5 ministers, including the Deputy Chief Minister, Keshav Prasad Maurya. They have still lost. What is happening there? Forget about the index of opposition unity. Is Yogi as a factor backfiring in Uttar Pradesh? Is he actually pushing reverse consolidation of the OBCs and Muslims and all of that? Is that a bet that's going wrong for the BJP?
I think most things are backfiring for the BJP because it's not just Yogi. You just see the spread of the setbacks. But certainly in UP, that's very, very bad news, because this is now getting serious. It's sustained. And I don't buy the line that, you lose one, you win one, and so on. Having said that, the Congress shouldn't be arrogant either, because there's no time for complacency. The Congress, at most, is only the first among equals. So it's got to shed its arrogance, this historical arrogance, in relation to its allies, which saw many setbacks in the past. So I think the Congress also has to show some humility in the face of these results, because the people who have really triumphed, the Congress has done well in assembly elections, but the people who have really triumphed are the this mixed bag of opposition parties, wherever. And again, the main factor is the index of opposition unity, its improvement, but there is also clearly a swing away from the BJP. The BJP stock, no question about it, has declined. Last time it was 30.6% of the popular vote nationally. I don't think, this suggests, if you extrapolate it, it's not going to be anything like that in 2019. Or whenever the Lok Sabha election comes before that.
Okay. Shaina NC, if I may ask you exactly this question. Yes, the Prime Minister you believe is invincible. Statistics are now beginning to doubt that as well. But is Yogi Adityanath a factor that is not working for you? He's seen as this Hindutva figure. He's seen as a Thakur figure. Is he backfiring? Is he really going into, is he really fueling some kind of reverse consolidation? Which is much against Amit Shah's own calculation of the social engineering?
No, I don't think this would be a fair assessment. But of course, if all opposition parties do unite, there is an area that we need to look in vis-a-vis introspection. But I think we need to understand that in the assembly elections, there was no Jat Paat Dharm, vote bank, Rajniti, all these common terms that we have heard, because Dalits and Muslims alike chose the BJP for our good governance, our strong decisions like triple talaq, etc. I would only want to tell the Congress spokesperson that, she said that look at our performance. I would want to say look at the Congress's performance. In a Lok Sabha constituency like Palghar, they have not even got 45,000 votes. And in UP, or for that matter, even in Bhandara, Gondia, which is the other Lok Sabha constituency, we have hardly lost by a couple of thousand votes. So you cannot term this as if this is the end of anything. This is only the beginning. And as they say, Supriya, when you're taking a long jump, you take 2 steps back and then plunge forward. So 2019 is going to be a mandate from the people of India who are going to decide who they want as a Prime Minister, not a permutation combination which is only there for lust for power.
Okay, I'm going to take this across to Bihar, and in Bihar it looks like there is a sympathy factor that's working on the ground for Lalu Yadav. Are the voters in some sense avenging against the walkout by Nitish Kumar? I don't know, but in Bihar the RJD has won and Lalu seems to be a factor on the ground. Zarda, when you figure out your political strategy and when you figure out who to ally with and what sort of a role to play, are you willing to be a junior ally? Is this what you're going to keep in mind, that in places like a Bihar, you are not the formidable player? You will have to play second fiddles to the RJD.
See, I've been saying this time and time again that most important is we have to know where our strength is. Now, if we are strong in certain areas, definitely we have the upper hand, and we would like to work in coordination with the other regional parties that are there. But in certain states where the regional parties are have an upper hand, we would definitely like to give them the reins and we work in coordination with them. So all like-minded parties along with Congress, which I think we will make a very good team together for the 2019 elections, we'd like to come together and work for the greater good. And as to what Madam Shaina said about the vote, I think in Gondia, I believe when you all have lost by over 30-something thousand. I'm just not getting the exact number, I apologize for that. But and NCP was backed by the Congress. So definitely it is a win for the Congress, and we don't mean to get overconfident over anything. We shall take it one step at a time, and I think we shall see 2019 how it works out.
Let me take this across to another very important by-election, and that's the by-election of West Bengal. But before I go to that, in some sense, NRAM, are issues like high fuel prices, are issues like no jobs, beginning to reflect on the ground. I mean, the BJP for the last 8 days has not acted on high oil prices, even though they have the elbow room. They can cut excise. You just can't keep blaming the state governments. They have not acted. I'm just saying, is that the price? Are they paying a price electorally for taking a strong stance on oil?
Yes, I think it makes sense to deduce that from the results because these are important issues. And I will also add rural livelihood. The crisis in rural livelihoods must have taken a real toll. So all these things matter. Economic issues are important, but of course, till we really do polls to see what really so, what was behind the outcome, we can only provide impressions and some elements of some speculations. But what you say sounds, perfectly reasonable. It's plausible that that made fuel prices did make a difference this time, and the BJP would take note of that.
Before I go back to Shaina, NC and Zaratha, I will also continue with you on the other factor, and that's Bengal. And it looks like Mamata Banerjee is not just invincible there, but her margin of victory has also gone up. She will definitely be one of the important fulcrums of this anti-Modi bloc come 2019, right?
No question. That's certainly going to happen. She's also taken the initiative, and it's notable that the lead has, it's what it is. But look at also Kerala, where the margin of win in Chenganur is unprecedented. There, the Congress has lost very badly because look at the margin of win, over 20,000, unheard of for Kerala, and particularly in this assembly constituency. But West Bengal, yes, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is going to be a very major player in a non-BJP or anti-BJP formation, however that's going to happen. Whether the Congress, what kind of role the Congress will have in this, and I don't see the Congress. The Congress behaves as though it's its hegemony. It's clearly above the rest. I don't think it's going to do very well. But if the Congress regards itself as the first among equals in a non-BJP, loose coalition, then I think its prospects will improve. But the Congress has done well in assembly by-elections in several states, and it's got some reason to congratulate itself.
Fair point. Shaina, NC, I'll come to you, and before I go back to the Congress on this, 15 bypolls have been held after 2014. Yes. 15, not one, not two, but 15 by-elections in India in Lok Sabha have been held since 2014. You had actually scored a victory in 9 out of those 15 in 2014. And today, at the end of this period, you have actually lost 7 of the 9 seats you won in 2014. You're still not worried?
No, I'm not going to say we're not going to introspect or analyze, but I don't think you're highlighting the fact that we have won over 1,500 MLA seats across the country. We have come to power in 21 seats, some of which are the most difficult of difficult, be it the Northeast, be it Assam, be it Jammu Kashmir. Even when we went to Karnataka, people kept saying that, oh, this is a North Indian party and it's not going to have entry in the South. And we have shown that we are here to deliver, and people have accepted that because of the blemish-free 4-year tenure. There have been so many schemes that have actually made a difference to the lives of the common citizen, be it the Ujjwala scheme, Mudra banking, pension scheme, insurance scheme. There are so many things that have happened in the correct direction. So I don't see why we should be constantly in a mode to suggest that there is no victory and defeat in a democracy. In fact, there must be, there should be, because that is what doesn't make any political party complacent. And for us, where we have a strong leadership, we have a great organization in terms of the party cadre, and we have 11 crore karyakartas. I think that we would be foolish if we don't inspire them rather than make this as if this is some kind of doomsday, which the media seems to be doing on every channel today.
Okay, no doomsday scenario there, but a quick word to Zaratha before I go across to some more breaking news that's coming on the bottom of our screens right now. Zaratha, what are the cues that the Congress party will draw from 2019? And what is most interesting is that when the Congress loses or any opposition party loses, they say there is an EVM malfunction. Today, the Akali candidate in Punjab says there's an EVM malfunction. Let's keep the Election Commission aside. Let's, for a moment, understand that this is a good thing. Our machines are working well. It's an independent process. There will be electoral wins and losses. And I'm saying more that to the Congress than to the BJP today. But Zarita, very quickly, the cues for 2019 that you're drawing from this.
See, there's a lot to learn. Number one, we are not averse to learning new things. Second thing, when we come to the EVMs, it is rather interesting to see that Mriganka Singh actually filed a complaint against the malfunctioning of the EVMs. Now, we along with many other parties, we have been insisting that why not go back to the paper ballot. Sometimes the EVMs are suffering from heat strokes. Sometimes, now if it's going to be winter time, then definitely they're going to be suffering from cold. So how are we going to take care of something like this? And one fine day we know that, maybe they have become, they're going to be affected by the global warming. So I think we should just do away with something that is not exactly functioning well, where certain things are questionable. And if it is not wrong to go back to older methods, I think it will only be fair to go back to older methods. And I think we should shift back to the ballot paper system.
Okay, all right. Thank you very, very much. On that note, I'm going to end this show because there's some breaking news that's coming in on Air India right now. Thank you very much, Mr. Enram, Ms. Shaina NC and Ms. Zarita for joining us on this very special edition of Bypoll. We'll discuss these elections later on in our primetime India Development Debate as well.